What is up, everybody? Outside the Cage with Ike Feldman and Pete Hoffman are here at _outside the cage on Twitter, at Ike_CBS.
At the Hoff WFAN. What up, dude?
Yo, chilling, man. A lot to dive into.
Hell yes.
Radio.com, by the way, for all our articles. Mike's on app with some other quicker segments that we have, some videos for you. And obviously the podcast, as always. By the way, TJ Dillashaw. To start it off, I mean, it's one of the most gut-wrenching things in the world because we spoke about this off air. But the guy put his blood, sweat, and tears for 12 weeks, complained about how he did his best work cutting weight. He felt so good going in against Henry Cejudo for that 125 flyweight championship super fight. And now the guy today comes out stating that he's relinquishing his belt because there's a substance in his body somewhere.
Dude, all he answered every single day on press week was questions about his weight. All we saw was just headlines about his weight. How is he doing the scientific weight? I've never heard the name Sam Calvita so much freaking times in my life. TJ Dillashaw, when he joined Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan was like, wait, this guy used to be a power lifter? What? This guy's cooler than me, TJ? You're sitting in the presence of JRE and you're going to tell me there's a man that walks this earth that's cooler than me? I got to meet him. Dude. The whole weight cut was freaking publicized, and then he loses in 26 seconds. We thought, okay, TJ lost the belt. We could figure this out now. You know, he's still a champion, or he lost the fight to be a double champ, but he's still a champion in another weight class. Forget that freaking news. It sucks for TJ. Now he's got to be in the same sentence as people with John Jones, and that's not good for his career.
No, it's not, and it's amazing because you're right. The Joe Rogan podcast was just all about Sam Calvito love fest. The guy is amazing. What this guy does, he's ahead of the scale. But my question to you is this, and I brought this up, and this is totally freaking out there, dude. But we recently heard, we've seen the John Jones stuff where there's something that's pulsing in his system that's kind of affecting what's going on, which is why we see him continuously test positive for a substance. It's the same substance and it keeps on getting tested positive for. It's this picogram nonsense. Is TJ Dillashaw suffering that same thing? Because Cody Garbrandt went on record back in 2017 saying, dude, you taught Team Alpha Male how to juice. You taught us how to do it, how to put it in our system. So maybe he has something from his system that still floats around, and when he does a severe weight cut like he just did, finally pops up. Is that a possibility?
All we have is facts. And then some pundits can kind of fill in the blanks and weave the path. So going by the facts, Cody did say that. He said that he showed Team Alpha Male how to do it. Going by the facts, John Jones, whenever it's around the weight cut, the metabolite, the oral turinabol shows up again. TJ Dillashaw, what do you know? He cut more weight, and this shows up. In the most weight he's ever cut, and I think he said since he was 16 or 17 years old, this shows up. Okay, this is starting to make sense. The drug that John Jones says, they have no idea how long it's going to be in John Jones' system. Dude, it could be 40-year-old taking Viagra. He's still going to pop for an oral turinabol if he decides to cut weight for a vacation or somebody's wedding. It will still pop up. The thing with TJ Dillashaw, this is not a good look, dude. Nobody's going to take your defense in this era of steroids when we're seeing Paulo Costa look like a freaking Greek god. When you see TJ Dillashaw had a 10-pack at 135, he shredded at 125. Not a good look for him. Not a good look for his legacy. Maybe Cody was onto something, man.
He also looked half dead, though, too. Yeah. That's the other thing. He looked like he
the
was,
Machinist.
Amazing. He looked like Christian Bale. In the Machinist for sure. I honestly thought the guy was never gonna make weight. He was gonna suffer from some weird kidney thing, failure, which is what a lot of these fighters go through. So they got that part right. They were able to figure out a way for him to not die while cutting weight. But does it taint the rest of his career that this popped up? Is it because of the weight cut? Otherwise, you would have never found it. You know, which is, again, this guy says he wanted to go down to 125 again to fight for this. Is there a reason why maybe he never got popped before? It was because it was never that difficult of a cut for him. And does it taint the rest of his career is really the question.
Yeah, I believe so. And, dude, look at the supplements. I mean, he's taken 30 of them the night before. Like, they put this on Twitter. I think it was Brett Okamoto. He was really around TJ too much at that point. They posted a photo where TJ's just in the hotel desk, and you see 30 supplements.
I know.
Obviously, he's definitely taking more supplements because of the more harsher weight cut. Could have been one of those, or it could be the Poulsen thing. But I think you're spot on, dude. The Poulsen thing, we can't overlook this.
Right. And the thing that would bother me is because the way that TJ went on and on and on about how they were so meticulous in this weight cutting math. It's all math, dude. It's all there. I don't know how you can go off on how unbelievable a system you have and then test positive. That's like this. That's like saying like, oh, dude, we missed one step. Like, how do we not know that wasn't in there? If you're that meticulous on everything, how would you know every single ounce of substance that's going into his body? Okay, they're not. That's like a. It's. I don't want to call them dumb, but that would be like a dumb move, you know.
Yeah.
And now the UFC and Jeff Nowitzki, they're constantly going through what's good and what's not good as far as substances and stuff like that. So, this is where Jeff needs to get deeper in with his fighters while they're cutting weight, while they're testing, while they're in a testing program.
Dude, and he's the face of this drug testing. And Brendan Schaub has been so loud and boisterous about this
snitch.
the golden snitch, and that he used to be more involved with USADA, and they kind of ripped away, and now he's kind of like a bridge man, a guy who like does the meetings and coordinates with Dana, tells Dana, talks to the USADA. He's more of like a puppet in the sense for the whole drug issue. He says this is going by what the Golden Snitch, a.k.a. Jeff Nowitzki, said on Rogan's podcast around the John Jones Poulsen picogram situation. He says he's just a face of it. So I agree with you, man. He should get involved. This should be an opportunity for them to dive in deeper and figure it out. I don't want to hear the excuses that just because John Jones' test, it's never been tested on a human, so we don't know what the hell. Because TJ Dillashaw, it's hiding in his fatty tissue, and because he lost more fatty tissue, this popped up more. I'm tired of the excuses, man. We have the science. We have the knowledge. I understand it. We're in a transition period with the pre-USADA fighters who are lingering and the post-USADA fighters that are lingering, like the Pettis, the Chris Weidmans, the Jose Aldos, the TJ Dillashaws. It's tough in that sense, but there's no excuse. The science is there. The money's there. Dana White's talking about making freaking facilities in Mexico.
Yeah.
Dude, figure out the drug problem.
Well, the one thing that's said constantly in every single sport is that the drug users, and I don't want to say drug users because steroids are I know they're illegal, so it's kind of like I in medicine world you use steroids, so it's not like all illegal. But for athletes that are performance enhancing drugs that should not be used in the regulation sport, there are always people that are ahead of the game. The people that are testing for these substances, to find these substances, are always 5 steps behind.
Victor Conte, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the what was his company? Not Balco. He was Balco?
That was Balco, right?
Dude,
Barry Bonds.
he was ahead of the scientists at the job. And what do we see with Icarus, man? The scientist, I forget the Russian guy, he worked at the
Gregory?
Gregory. He worked for freaking the Olympic team to make sure his athletes wouldn't test positive.
Yes.
There's always going to be cheaters in every walks of life.
So that being said, it's going to be impossible to stop it entirely. But if it's something as simple as, we just took the wrong thing. It was a mistake. We didn't mean to take that. Like, we're doing all this. We're taking all these nutrients and putting it in our body because we're doing a severe weight cut, and we're doing our best to make sure that this man is not losing anything. And they by accident make a mistake and put something in there like, oh shoot, I didn't realize that substance was in there because it's an added substance that just came out about a week or two ago. They've got to do a better job of that, and that's on everybody. If it comes out that TJ Dillashaw made a mistake, something so minute, and it was Sam Calvito, and he didn't realize it, and they overlooked something, that's going to piss me off. Now, if it's purposeful, if the guy's really juicing and they're trying to beat the system, then yes, give the guy a year suspension at least, or whatever the case is. Fine him a little bit of money, fine. But if it's a mistake, get rid of the suspension. I'm so torn because it's just hurting you and I and the rest of the fans that want to see these fights.
Nobody cares about the apology, man. The first person that cries wolf or runs to mommy and daddy, that's all we care about in the headlines. Nobody cares about the after effect. Like, now TJ Dillashaw's name is going to be connected to steroids forever. He lost the belt because of this.
Right. And now the fact that he relinquished it so quickly, do you think that he knows that he did wrong and he's like, hey, listen, like you said, let's get ahead of this. It'll look better to do it this way. I'll have it serve a year suspension, and I'll get back to fighting next January, and we'll just move on from this chapter of my life. Or is it, what? I got tested for what? Let me be real. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but I'm not going to cause any damage to the UFC. I'm going to try to make the UFC look good for a change. I'm going to give up the belt. Let's figure this thing out ASAP, and let me get back to fighting.
It's one of those two, man. And I said this on the Mike's app before. The crappy thing about the steroid and this USADA thing, it's not separate. The UFC and USADA are not separate. The UFC is probably one of the biggest lobbyists or one of the biggest funders of USADA. You know,
Yeah.
they're providing them employees jobs every day. You know, you see how many tests they freaking do on the 500-plus UFC fighters. They're obviously keeping these USADA guys employed. So it's like they're not going to pull the plug on that relationship. If a fighter tests hot, you better believe Dana White's one of the first two people to find out about it. Because he holds that fighter's marbles. And by marbles, I mean contract.
Yeah.
By contract, I mean balls.
Balls.
He holds that fighter's nuts for them. Like, we saw the situation with Nevada. Nevada tried to play hardball with Dana White back for UFC 232. Yeah, John Jones needs to do a hearing on the Thursday of fight week. If he wants to fight. They tried to play hardball. Dana White said, dude, what are you talking about? 6 days out? I'll move the whole freaking entire event. Sorry, Mr. Corey Anderson. I don't give a shit if your wife's pregnant with triplets. I'm moving the entire event a state over 3 hours away to cater to our superstar. Dana White,
He's
man.
stubborn, isn't he?
Yes. He's powerful, man. He's powerful. That's why it's so crappy because this thing, Dana White could have called TJ and be like, dude, we have a positive test on our hands.
Can you explain this?
Yeah, this could be worse or it could be better. It depends on you. And TJ's probably took the route of, I'm not in the mood to deal with this. I'll serve the suspension, whatever it needs to be. He came out on top.
This is odd timing, too, because they came out, was it Monday or Tuesday they came out that Dana, it was Monday, that Dana signed the 7-year deal with ESPN, right?
Yep.
Huge thing. The pay-per-view stuff. And someone asked me, well, what the hell does this mean for us that we have to buy through ESPN? All it means right now for pay-per-view people, if you want to buy, you have to buy through ESPN Plus, the app. You know, you could buy it through, you still watch it on TV. However you buy apps and watch it through digital stuff, that's how you do it. But the thing is, if you're an ESPN Plus subscriber, you get the discount by $5 because you're already buying into it anyway, so you don't have to pay the extra. But eventually, this is going to turn into the Zone WWE Network. It's going to be because I'm subscribing to your system, I get all the pay-per-views included. I don't know when that's going to happen. But that's what's going to happen. I think.
I can't wait for it, man. This paywall's annoying.
No, it is. You're right. But that being said, though, it's odd timing. As I describe what it is that happened. No one cares about.
I'm drooling. I want to give a take.
But the point is, yes, I have dyslexia and OCD, ADD. The point is that Dana. It's odd timing that Dana signs for another 2 years. UFC and ESPN, they have another extension. It's 7 years now in total. And then all of a sudden, one of their champions, the guy who actually started, he was the face of the first ever ESPN card, gets tested positive.
I think I see where you're going here. Like, they kind of withheld information before
I don't know.
making the deal with ESPN.
Yeah.
Because ESPN, dude, when it comes to negotiation, as we're learning, as we're climbing the corporate ladder, any type of hair that you could hold against somebody, you use it. Any type of leverage, you use it.
Yeah.
If they release that one of their prime champions who we promoted on your first event, hey, ESPN, by the way, our banner boy, he was on steroids, he was juiced up. That's not a good look. ESPN could cut off tens of millions of dollars and say, whoa, this is your champion. You said Jones was the bad egg of the bunch. Now you're going to tell me it's 50%? The Costa thing just came out too, which on ESPN3, which was going to be a huge event.
Right.
That's probably how some ESPN Disney executive found out about Paulo Costa through the steroid test, and he goes, oh, shit, I'm with you, brother. It's not all conspiracies if half the time you're right. I think they withheld this information before the deal was made.
Well, it makes sense. You know, Dana's very happy, and UFC and ESPN have been very happy with the numbers that have been coming by. But it would definitely taint the deal for sure, and maybe question UFC if or the ESPN I should say is if the champion or one of the top fighters in the promotion is tested positive, we sit out a year. Would you sign that 2-year extension? No.
It would be signed, but they could get it at a cheaper price.
Oh, but for sure,
Yeah,
for sure. Because all they see right now is, well, how many subscribers did we just get over the past couple of months? Yeah, we got a lot of subscribers and a lot of people watching. All right, yeah, cool, let's do this.
Dude, watch how many people before UFC 236 are going to have to buy that ESPN Plus. Because we all know, I think they said overnight for the first ESPN event, they saw like 500K subscribers.
Yeah.
Watch how many that week of, the night before, the day of. It's going to be another 1 million, 2 million subscribers. ESPN Plus is going to be very happy.
Dude, and think about this too. Their mouth is watering for the day when Conor announces his next fight. They're like, oh, wait a second. Now we could see all the benefits. We haven't even touched that
benefits.
yet. We're just dipping the pen so far. We just got just the tip right now. We haven't gotten anywhere near it. We haven't gotten anywhere close. Let's get a full thrust in there, boys. Let's get going. Come on. You know that. Think about that. ESPN is and Disney. It's all Disney, dude. It's crazy.
We negotiate with hundreds and thousands of dollars here with ourselves. Like, they're talking about millions and billions of dollars. Of course, every side of this story involves leverage. Ugh. But back to TJ with the steroids. Dude, I made this comparison on the Mike's app. TJ Dillashaw is doing kind of an Andy Pettit approach to coming out and getting ahead of the news, putting an Instagram post saying I'm relinquishing. It's kind of a white knight move. Obviously, him and John Jones are the same pool of failed drug tests and steroid users, but Roger Clemens and John Jones both ran away from the critics, and still Roger Clemens is nowhere close to getting into the Hall of Fame. John Jones, dude, because he comes across as a schmuck and has a very smug, and people say it's moxie, but because he has a very arrogant way about himself, people don't like him, man. They want to see him fail. They wanted Anthony Smith to knock him out. I like the way TJ Dillashaw is going about this.
Yeah, TJ is taking the much more the Andy Pettit approach for sure. That is a smart move. You're right.
Sorry,
you don't.
I'm sorry.
Well, because and it's weird because he's the first person to say make an excuse for getting knocked out by Henry Cejudo.
You're right.
He's the first person to say, I deserve a rematch.
You're right.
Really? You deserve a rematch for what? Because you chose to go 10 pounds, to cut 10 more pounds to go to 125 for that super fight that would have made you a lot of money if you became champ.
Right. This is the same person that's
yeah.
there. You're right.
Yeah, so it's
definitely his PR team.
And then, listen, I like TJ Dillashaw too.
Of course.
Let me just start with that too, because I like a lot of these fighters, but you have to be real at times. This is what the guy said. He went on record and said, I deserve a shot right away. I know it doesn't look that way. You know, I'll do whatever it takes to get the rematch. I mean, I don't really want it to be at 135, but I'll do that too. But it should really be 125 because I cut 12 weeks. I wait for 12 weeks to get to this point. I deserve better than that. Early stoppage, whatever. Guy got tagged a bunch of times. Cejudo was all over him. Let me tell you something. Let's see Darren Till say, I want a rematch with Jorge Masvidal. He got a lucky shot. Okay? Let's see how that goes. Let's see if that rematch happens, okay? It's not going to happen. No. It's not going to happen. The guy tags you. You went down. It was unfortunate. I know you worked your tail off, TJ. We love you. I don't know what's going on with the suspension. We hope that we find out information that leads that you made a mistake somewhere, and hopefully we can get past it sooner than later. But no excuses. And I'm glad you take that approach of let's get ahead of this.
Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, it's a crappy dude. Like, I'm with you, man. I love TJ, love everybody that surrounds him. Justin Buchholz, awesome guy. Dwayne Ludwig, awesome guy. Really cool team. Man, it's crappy for his career, and it's crappy for the look of the sport. Our editor from radio.com, I was going to do a piece on one championship. I'm literally like 30 minutes away from sending him the rough draft of the story. Right. And he goes, wait, can you guys do a TJ Dillashaw story?
John, we love you.
The good news and the bad news is I'm like, oh, shit, I just wrote this thing. Are you kidding me? The best news is that they're paying attention to MMA.
Yes.
So I think this can be a time where we can shine the light on the cockroaches. Everybody sees all the crap with the Me Too movement and all the crap with the cheating SAT scores. Clean up the sport. I understand, like I said before, there's pre-USADA guys that are still in this club, in the UFC.
Club.
This is an opportunity. Yeah, it's a boys' club. We like to wrestle naked. It's a time where we can clean it up. It's an opportunity where we should clean up the sport.
So, dude, not for nothing, but you say wrestling around naked.
This is the segue. That one caused the segue.
This is the segue because that's this UFC London card. And if anybody watched it at all, it was